All right, as you all should know at this point, I have no rhythm, I have no rhyme, and I have no flow. But we're gonna give this a shot because someone kind of jokingly wrote part of this in chat, and I said to fill the rest in myself. So I would ask Zombie to lay down a beat, but I know she won't. Bottom left Zerg, we got Sweet Kane smelling like incense, putting pressure on his opponent, getting immense. Spawning top blue, it's intense. Not looking to play on the defense, taking his Marines to the offense, not offering suspense, nonsense, or pretense. Now let's have this game commence.
That went too fast.
Okay. I got...
And the flow wasn't really there. I didn't recognize you introduced...
There was no flow, and I covered both intros. That was what I was talking about, my second intro.
I know, but I didn't recognize that you introduced Kane.
Okay, at this point, I'm kind of fighting a fits of exhaustion. I think I got like a 30-minute nap between our qualifiers today.
Oh, a 30-hour nap, Jesus.
A 30-hour would be so sick. I think that's just called sleep, though.
I think that's called borderline coma.
Yeah, I'm really glad we actually do have a lot of downtime between this finishing up in the North American group tomorrow. Because if the groups tomorrow started at 5 a.m., I would shoot myself.
And you have to solo it too. Huh.
Yeah. You're there for the evening cast, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was making sure. Because we had done the scheduling. And
I'm here for everything.
Scatterbrain Rifkin, you know?
Overly attached.
All right, so we got actually, I'd say, less than intriguing spawn locations for this matchup. If we had the top left, bottom right, we start talking about this big gap, right? The third base becomes a real big pain in the ass. But I think bottom left and top right spawns are the closest we're going to get to like a more normal, and I see this big air quotes you guys can't see, version of this matchup. Although I really want to see Intense take good use of these hallways. Seeing so many cool moves where players will put like the Marauder in the front and like the 7-6 Marines in the back. Like,
oh, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, Reaper's able to abuse the hallways too.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be single Reaper just for the scouting. All the battalions. Last game he did go for... Wait, where did he go? Where actually did he go for last game? The Hellbat push,
Kane?
Right? Intense.
Yeah, Intense with the Hellbats, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the big...
Yeah.
It wasn't the... I mean, there's like the 6 Marines with the medevac. That's what really made it strong, not the Hellbats per se, but...
Yeah.
It's really, that's the thing. Hellbats, I think, once upon a time were those game-endingly terrible units that needed to be nerfed, etc. But nowadays, they're kind of almost the fluff just to soak banelings, and it's whatever you put behind them that ends up being the real damage.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that didn't... Again, it didn't do a whole lot of damage, but you can definitely recover off of pressures like that. And just, like, the follow-up attacks were not that great. Intense constantly got swamped, denied, no pressure really given, all the drops were taken care of. Kane was in a perfectly fine position, even though he couldn't end it, despite being in the lead. It was that kind of slow death, almost exactly like against QXE. But it's just like Intense, maybe he'll be better like in terms of like the attack paths on this map. I mean, he was the one that chose this map, obviously.
Yeah,
so.
his map. Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Sorry, I just... Guys, no, it wasn't Eminem, believe me. It was just me all along. The delay on stream and the reactions are making me quite... okay. Don't worry, guys. I don't plan to rap too often on stream. If ever again.
Yeah. I actually liked your rapping for that, the big one. Everyone's making fun of you, and they're like, thank God Tibbo started rapping. And I was like, I thought he was doing a pretty good job. You guys are, you know... really critical of rapping.
I tried to do a sort of, I don't know, smash talk rap to my buddy Van Rookie the other day, and they're just like, "Dude, you sound like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Stop it." It's like, aw.
Why is that a bad thing? It's awesome.
Started making trouble in the neighborhood.
Oh, like that. Yeah, that does sound a little quirky.
Okay, but moving off of that, and trust me, we are going to move off of that. We do have the Banshee and the Hellions coming behind this, but more than the Hellions is the Armory. Hellbats, again, they're an interesting part of the matchup, and I don't think Intense's opening is necessarily what killed him versus got him ahead or anything like that last game, but this is one that certainly is a little bit more potent. If Kane doesn't, if he loses those Queens too quickly, even if there's Roaches out, those Banshees are just going to wreck.
Yeah, and there are going to be Roaches out. You know, +1 missile on the way, so he's definitely going to invest into them past however many he gets here. Now, this kind... They'll help against the Hellbats, obviously. They'll be good against that. But we've seen a lot of situations where they'll take down the pressure, and that's well and good. And then they'll just, because they have nothing to cover the Roaches, they'll lose like 6 Roaches, and suddenly they spent money on those roaches, and the roaches did die, and so like the banshees actually made any type of pressure worth it. Hopefully that's not going to be the case. Kane's going to cover his bases literally with spore crawlers or an overseer, so that won't happen. But it happens pretty darn often. So Overload's not going to be able to see the armory. Might see the... Yeah, we'll see the starport. Can't tell if Cloak was used or not. Did just finish. I don't know about not pairing this up with Banshees, though. Oh, there it is. There's the first Banshee.
So curiosity strikes me. Are the Starleague qualifiers open to cast like the Hot 6 Cup was? I just looked at Team Liquid. I said like Winter and Cheesehead Logic casting it.
Oh, I just saw Cheesehead Logic and I figured he was talking in Russian. I don't... You'd have to get the stream, though.
I don't have the energy to do it, even if we could. I was just curious was all. Because I didn't hear anything about it.
I don't see a point. I mean, you'd just be casting the exact same things they were casting, but whatever. Yeah,
we got our own awesome qualifier with some awesome North Americans, probably some fairly notable numbers for a evening broadcast. And again, thank you guys for tuning in. But this Roach March across the map on a Kane, it's got a couple of queens with it. It's a little bit scary. And, well, Hellbats and Roaches have a very interesting dynamic. The thing is, it's range versus non-range. Once you break through and start cutting them around, that's when it becomes a little bit difficult to deal with. But Kane's actually just moving right into the splash. And, oh, that's going to hurt. The SCV is going to push this back, and Intense with that Banshee is going to stop this dead in its tracks.
I don't know why he did that. That seems overeager. He might still, like, do damage. He has more roaches on the way. He has queens helping against the Banshees as well, but it seems unnecessary. A tank is about to pop out. A couple more Marauders are going to pop out as well soon. Not actually making anymore.
The tank's certainly going to help. The problem is he's got to keep the roaches off that tank. It's going to be pretty easy for Kane to just get on top of that if he decides to dive for it, but... these queens, man. These lovely, awesome anti-air queens. This Intense now supply block, by the way, so this tank coming out to be the last one that comes out for quite some time, unless he wants to drop supply. And you never want to drop supply. Even if you're floating 1,000 minerals, kind of like he is right now, you still never want to drop supply. He needs to get depots down, though. If he wants to keep making units, if he wants to stay in this game.
Well, he's just done on the 3rd CC. He's definitely missing that. That's definitely worth it. The tanks, they're about to get, well, pounced upon. Yeah. One barely doesn't go down. Hey. Oh, well, okay.
You know, the start to this fight looked like it was going to go so well for Intense. He had that sick concave with the Hellbats. The SCVs were holding all the roaches in place, but, you know, Kane gathered his wits. He took a deep breath. He brought a drone to the front line. 3 drones to the front line. Proxy hatcher, he's incoming.
I don't know what that is. I'd feel so much better if Intense had that 3rd CC. I'd actually be like, oh, well, we saw this as Medivac, so you could return the damage and be dropping, but no 3rd CC. I guess it's attacked as soon as he was thinking about putting it down and forgot to. I'm not sure, but yeah.
That is the thing, though. Like, we so oftentimes assess, like, all-ins versus Terran, and you can go down to, like, 10 SCVs, but if you got 3 CCs at the right scenario, you come back from that. You bounce back, but... Intense is in a pretty hard spot. Down to 28 workers. Yes, he's still got mules dropping and he cleans up this army, but I would not say he's in a comfortable spot this game. Not one bit.
Yeah, so those Medivacs, he's got to work magic with them now. 2 more about to pop out and he can start doom dropping around the place. We actually have burrowed roach tunneling claws, so we'll need to throw in a missile turret as well.
Only if he recognizes it, though, because it's such an uncommon thing to see.
Yeah. If you see Burrow, you might. But if you don't see Burrow up to that point, you definitely won't. And these are doing the shark attack animation right now. Oh no. Oh no. They don't have any high ground vision unless they move up to the high ground, of course. So that high ground tank will be able to take care of them.
But I mean, they can is the thing, right? Like it's...
They can. They just go up there. Go ahead.
They don't even need to stop at the tanks. They can just go for the SCV line. Like Kane's recommends this too. Super Ox.
No, that doesn't work. Ox. It just sounds like a super awkward ox. Anyways, gets a couple SCVs. I mean, those roaches are waiting, I guess, to pounce on the tank when his other roaches...
Yep,
there we go. Perfectly timed.
Both the tanks get taken here pretty swiftly. He's even going to get most of these roaches out alive. Burrows the other ones here in the main. Scans honestly can't afford to be burned right now to deal with this. With, again, no 3rd CC. Every time he scans, that's 1 less mule. That's 1 less chance he stays in this game. His income's already in shambles.
He just have an engineering bay, though, so he could afford 1 missile turret, maybe even 2.
And he's got a couple coming down. but I kind of feel like Kane wants to get sniped that. He's gonna actually just get the orbital, not careful. There we go. Forces a lift off. Of course, dealing with bio head on like this is not the best way to trade out with roaches, but at this point, it's almost like Kane's playing with his food. He's coming up on the 4th base. He's just throwing away roaches because he can.
Yeah.
If that orbital's lifted and burning, it's not mining. If that doesn't get repaired, that's going to be what ends the game, if nothing else.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Intense, this is not a loser's bracket type of tournament, and he is already down 1, so this is his last game, pretty much. So that's why he hasn't left yet. But he is down by almost 100 supply. If he had a good army supply, he could definitely bring this around. Roaches will die surprisingly easily to bio with any amount of upgrades, but he's using on upgrades, 3rd command center, and just an army in general.
Well, 2-0 in the favor of Kane. This will allow him to advance forward to the brackets to his qualifier match. He doesn't have an opponent just yet. We'll have to see. That top half of the bracket hasn't